Hello everybody, welcome. We are here. The day has finally arrived. We get to check out none other than Tron Lightcycle Run. Right behind me, we're going to go through everything that you need to know with regards to Tron Lightcycle Run, and this is going to be our honest, unfiltered review of Tron. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews, a lot of good, a lot of bad, and we're going to tell you the truth. We're going to tell you our honest evaluation. We're also going to show you how to get into the actual ride. We're going to take a look at the actual ride seat, the test seat. We're going to go through all the different pieces of how to get into the seat and what's your best option for fitting in the seat if you're a little bit afraid. So we're going to help demystify that, take away some of the anxiety. We'll show you how the seat works, and we're going to give you our honest take. So stay tuned. I could not be more excited to ride this. There it goes. Oh, I'm excited. It's been, what, 5 years? It's been 5 years in the making. This was originally supposed to be start construction February of 2018, was supposed to be completed in 2021. But because of COVID, everything dragged out. And here we are now in 2023, and it's just now finished. We're just now getting our first look at this Lightcycle Run, and I'm super excited. It took 5 years though, so I don't know if it's going to be worth the wait. Again, hearing mixed reviews. I don't know if it's going to be great or if it's just going to be okay. We'll let you know. I want to get you a picture of how the ride vehicle works. So you hop in here, she's going to jump in, and you've got these handles here that she's got to pull down. She's going to pull them towards her. When she pulls them down, this back thing closes. Show it again. So she has to pull that down and it has to close. But the key is this right here, this little linch pin. This has to come here into your leg. Show it open and close. So if that doesn't close all the way, you won't be able to ride it. And one of the tricks is to put your feet like this, not like this. Don't put your feet down like that. You want them up like this and all the way back towards this wheel as far as possible so that this thing pinches right here in between your knee. And then this is what she looks like all done and in there.
With sudden drops and stops. For your safety, remain seated on your light cycle at all times. Keep restraint securely fastened. Supervise young Team Blue users at all times.
Team Blue members detected for the Lightcycle Run competition. Initiate identity disk profiling. Initiate Lightcycle Run upload sequence in 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to Tron Lightcycle Run, the ultimate competition on the grid. Before proceeding to the sync chamber, all members of Team Blue must prepare. All users must secure large items, including backpacks, purses, and hats, in the locker portal before entering the grid. Ties. The competition begins when Team Blue launches across in todo momento.
All right, here we go. We're getting up there. I'm excited, Tron.
Initiate identity disk profile.
We're on Team Blue. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And you said it's a Bollywood? No, it's not Bollywood. Yes.
Prepare for Team Blue Lightcycle Run upload sequence. Remember, hold on, keep your head up, and face forward. Initiate in 3, 2, 1. First energy gate captured. Second energy gate. 3. 4. 5 captured. Congratulations, users. A championship performance and victory for Team Blue.
We're the Team Blue. Weren't we?
Yeah, I don't know.
We probably took too long.
Well, we're on our way out of Tron Lightcycle Run. I'm going to take a look at the exit. It looks like there's 2 ways to go out of Tron. One is to head towards Space Mountain. I'm assuming maybe eventually you'll be able to go through those exit doors into the store next to Space Mountain. And then the other pathway is going to take you over here where you see these people walk into Storybook Circus over by Barnstormer. So right now they're basically funneling us over to Storybook Circus exit. You cannot go out the exit by Space Mountain. But again, I'm going to assume if you look right over here, you can see kind of the bushes that are blocking the entrance to the store. You can see them right there. That store is not open at the moment. They're blocking it off, but I'm going to assume that that's going to be a way in and out, or you can just kind of go around that way, which is where we came in. But for now, because of the special preview, they're forcing everybody out this direction towards Storybook Circus. So we'll get a look at what's underneath. We've been seeing where like the train goes through, and we'll check out this exit. So it looks like this is the, it says Tomorrowland. This is like an entrance over by Barnstormer, which is back behind me to the right. So this looks like this is going to be an official entrance into Tron Lightcycle Run, but also an official walkway to get over to Tomorrowland. So you don't have to walk all the way back around over by the raceway. You'll be able to just cut straight through here and go straight over. So that's kind of nice, but right now they're not really allowing people through here. It's an exit only. But eventually I'm going to assume this will be a nice walkway. So you can see we're headed out. There's Barnstormer right there on the left, and there's this little hedge wall. I'm going to assume on the other side of this is going to be a cast member making sure that nobody sneaks through here. Yeah, there they are up there. They're kind of blocking. So right now, not going to be able to walk through here until I'm guessing the virtual queue or the pass holder, like the previews are over. So they're not going to let you go through there. So there we are. Nice, not too shabby. I'm actually I think it's kind of cool that there's going to be a walkway there in the future. All right, so we finished riding Tron Lightcycle Run, and we gave it about, I'd say, it's been 3 hours at least. I had some initial reactions coming off, and I feel like I didn't want to just speak. I didn't want to just give it my evaluation right off of riding it. I wanted to kind of let it settle in a little bit, so we made the conscious decision to kind of just relax, go do some other stuff in the park, and then come back to it now to give it more of like a thoughtful evaluation on what I thought of Tron. And I have a lot of things to say. This could take a while. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to get everyone else's opinion first. And then I'm going to give you my straight up honest review of what I thought of Tron. So let's start off with these fine people behind me in what they thought. I can hear you from here. Go ahead. Just kidding, I can't hear you from here. Come over. Molehill won't come to Terrence. Terrence will come to the molehill. What'd you think?
1 star.
What'd you think?
1 star.
1?
Yeah.
How come?
Space Mountain's better. That's about it.
All right, so Max gave his honest review and it was very fast. He's a man of very few words. But I'm glad he actually jumped in the video. Sometimes he won't even get in the video. Okay, so it's your turn. We got to find out. So we got 1 vote for it was busted.
So I had absolutely no idea what the ride was going to be like at all. Like absolutely nothing. I feel like some other people did. So my expectations were kind of, I was trying to put them lower just from what I had been hearing. I had been hearing that it was short. I don't know, I feel like it took them so long to make it. It was a replica of a ride that already exists, so I feel like my expectations were lower. But for me, it fully exceeded my expectations. Like, it was awesome. I think it was way better than I thought it was going to be. I think some other people have some different opinions, like Max. But I don't know, I feel like since I got off the ride to now, my opinion's the same, even like after letting it sit. I genuinely really loved it.
So compare it to, give me a comparison against, let's say, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, okay, but
now the truth comes out.
Well, no, because my expectations were already low. Like, I knew it wasn't going to be as good as Flight of Passage or Guardians of the Galaxy or any of the big hitters. So I wasn't like disappointed. It was everything I thought it was going to be and more. That's what I think.
Okay.
So I immediately was just, I liked the takeoff. I thought the takeoff was fun. I thought getting in the seat was weird. I think it's weird that you cross the tracks. It almost feels like you're doing something wrong because you're raised to ride rides at any theme park. Don't walk across the tracks. You're not actually walking across the track, but it feels like you are if you sit on the other side. I was like, that was my first reaction. I was like, that's weird. The line queue is really, really cute. It's awesome. It's a little quiet in the last room. It needs some music or something. And the video in the room before that was so blaringly loud that it was giving me a headache. But the actual ride, the takeoff was good. I liked the inside part. I did not like that it slowed down. It like starts off good and then it takes you down. And I didn't like that. And then it kind of just ends abruptly to me. Like all of a sudden it's just over. I guess there was an ending, but I don't know. I was just like, that's it. I knew it was going to be short, but it wasn't that. It was like it just needed a more climactic ending, I feel like. And the whole ride, it was, I don't know, just the height I was, it was digging into my stomach really bad right here, the top of the seat. And it was hurting. But when the ride stopped, I was really nauseous and I had a headache in the back of my head. And I was neither of those things before I got on the ride. I never get sick on roller coasters unless I ride roller coasters like 5 in a row within like a few minutes of each other, like at Kings Island. But no Disney roller coaster does that to me at all. I don't get sick on Cosmic Rewind at all, and everybody gets sick on that. Not everybody, but a lot of people. But this ride did make me sick, and I was sick for a good 45 minutes. So I didn't like it that much. To me, it's not even a comparison to Guardians of the Galaxy. Like Tron's down here. Yeah, they're not the same kind of ride, but Tron's down here, Guardians of the Galaxy is way up there. So
It's my turn. All right, so I'm gonna be honest. I think it was, if I'm just giving my rating right now, it's a 6.5 out of 10.
Oh, come on. You bugging.
The reason why I say that, honestly, is because it took 5 years. I don't think they needed a replica. I feel like they could have just did something different. The first Tron ride in the U.S. at Disney. So like they could have just did a different thing. It could have brought more ideas. I think they needed another boost in there. It was amazing. Like the queue, amazing. I liked everything walking up to it. It's so cool. The music, everything, the way it takes off, it's amazing. But like, it's amazing, and then like right in the middle, it just like stops, and then you're kind of just like on a ride, but like it lost all momentum. So I feel like they really could have knocked it out of the park. They really could have. If they would have just did a few things differently, I feel like it could have easily been one of the top rides that Disney has at all 4 parks. But for the fact that it took them 5 years and that they didn't do anything creative with that ride outside of just making it a copy of the previous ride, that's why I got to give it a 6.5.
Good analysis. I think a lot of good stuff there. I've really been trying. I've been struggling with what I was going to say here. But to be honest, this is an honest review for me. Tron was kind of busted for me. It was kind of busted. Here's the thing. Here's the thing for this. I'm a huge fan of Tron. 1982 original Disney movie Tron. Max is coming in here. He was not a fan. I'm a huge fan of Tron. The original Tron, 1982. Absolutely loved it as a kid. Grew up with Tron. Loved it. Thought it was fantastic. The new version, the remake, all that stuff, I think is cool. I do like the movie. Those movies, I'm good with it. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, it's not good. I liked it. So I was hoping for more Tron stuff, not less. Like I still want more Tron movies because I'm just a huge fan of that universe and the original film. For me, the ride was an utter letdown. 5 years waiting for this ride, and I'm going to break it down for you exactly why. Number one, the queue. I agree. The ride. Leading up to it, actually the visual appeal of getting on the ride and all the queue and the exterior of the building, 10 out of 10. I think it's fantastic. It's better than Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy looks like a giant block on the outside. Even though it does have the Star Blaster out front, but it doesn't, there's nothing like phenomenal about it, what it looks like. But once you get inside Guardians of the Galaxy, it's a 10 out of 10 for me too. This is more 10 out of 10 outside. When you get inside, I think it's It's probably like an 8 out of 10 on the inside. Some of the areas are 10 out of 10. Some of them are just kind of, there's not a whole lot. There's not a lot actually in the inside. It's a lot of like cool like lighting effects and stuff, but really not a lot of cool content. The one thing that I really like about Guardians of the Galaxy, there's a lot of setup prior to the ride, so there's like a storyline. There's not a whole lot with Tron. Some people don't like that. I personally do like that. Other people are like, let's just get to the ride.
There was somebody talking, but she was extremely loud, and so that's all I could think about was how loud she was.
It was
so I
loud.
didn't even pay attention to what she was saying.
Yeah. So next point I want to make is the ride vehicle. If you're going to have a ride vehicle like that, you should get something out of that ride vehicle. It should make you feel a certain type of way. And I'm going to give you an example. Hagrid's Magical Motorbike Creatures Adventure. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. That is the hardest ride
Why is
name
it
to
so
say.
long? It's
Like,
so
how many
extra.
words did you want to put in this ride name? That ride to me, when I'm on the motorcycle part, I'm like, I feel like I'm in it. Like I'm like leaning, like left and right, and I'm cruising. You know, there's more than one launch there. There's a story, like there's things happening. That ride to me, I'm getting something out of the motorcycle. When I'm in the seat and not the motorcycle, I have a lot of fun in the seat too. And by the way, fitting onto Hagrid's is just a lot more comfortable. So I'm going to go back to the ride vehicle. Number one, I don't feel like you get anything out of the ride vehicle. I don't think they make use out of the ride vehicle personally for me. So I just didn't feel it like I feel it on Hagrid's. Secondly, it's the most uncomfortable ride I've ever been on in my entire life, by far. She was comfortable. I was so uncomfortable. Max was ultra uncomfortable also. I don't know if it's a size thing. I have no idea. All I know is that my chest was on fire. My shins were hurting. It was that's not true. The most uncomfortable ride I've ever been on was Firebird. Was that what it's called? Firebird or Firehawk at Kings Island? That ride was horrible.
It's not there anymore.
I thought I was going to die. But this was bad. This was not comfortable for me personally. So they're just not doing much with the ride vehicle for me personally. Okay, next point. The takeoff. The takeoff was cool. I like the takeoff. And then it dies. Like, it dies fast. Like, it's like you take off and then, like, it's
The
done.
whole rest of the ride is just it.
And then you're in, like, Barnstormer speed the rest of the ride. I think Barnstormer might actually go faster. I don't know. Like, it was that slow. And then I feel like the ride stops, like, 2 times at least. Like, full stop almost. Comes to a complete crawl. And then the last thing is the visuals on the ride. There wasn't a whole lot happening in the ride. There was some gates, a little bit of like projections where things were crashing, but it's too short. Overall, for me, too short. I kind of want to go back. I haven't seen the video. I want to go back to the video I took. I feel like it's like 50 seconds of actual ride. I'm not counting the like loading and hanging out there and watching the sequence and then unloading. Like the actual ride, I feel like is like 50 seconds or something. Really short. So overall, for me, I was disappointed. Guardians of the Galaxy is phenomenal. I give it a 10 out of 10. I give Tron 4 out of 10. So it's a 4 out of 10 for me. It's not even a 5 or a 6. Space Mountain crushes it. Personally, crushes it. It's not even a competition.
I was definitely telling, I believe it was, I forgot who I was telling, but basically I said where they set themselves up was putting it right next to Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna put a ride right next to Space Mountain, it has to be just as good as Space Mountain or better. Can't be anything less, because then people are gonna be like, well, it's not better than Space Mountain because Space Mountain is right there. And then I totally forgot how like long it was. It was so fast that like you forget how short it was. I don't know. I think they just should have made it longer, and people would have probably been more satisfied with it being longer and faster. And I mean, like that's like 2 simple things: make it longer and faster. And you have a lot more people, and then like the seat, make the seat more comfortable. Which for me, the seat wasn't that uncomfortable. It was pretty. I mean, maybe because I had this on, or like I wasn't very. I don't know. I didn't have much trouble with the seat, So it was a little better for me, but yeah, I just feel like they could have did more.
I feel like it's hard. I can't really say, oh, I'm super disappointed in this ride because, like, I feel like we knew it was just a replica of a ride that already exists. So what they never promised us new features to the ride. They never promised us it was gonna be longer. It was just something like a replica of a ride that's already in another. Isn't it Shanghai?
Yeah. And I agree. I feel like that was a mistake. Like, I feel like for as long as it took to build, it should have been different. If they doubled the length of the ride, and then there was 2 launches on the ride, one in the beginning and one in the middle, I would probably give this like a much higher rating.
For sure.
Maybe a 9 or even a 10.
For sure.
But like, I think of Velocicoaster, which has multiple launches, lots of cool things happening there.
It kind of reminds me of Mummy, but I love Mummy. Mummy's one of my favorite rides at Universal, but it's not nearly as good as
It's not as good as Mummy. Yeah, I agree.
I was gonna say it also reminds
Yeah, it's
me
not.
of Mummy.
So overall, I mean, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm really railing this thing bad, but I was really hoping for something really cool for Tron, and I just was disappointed. So I'm kind of really railing it a bit. That being said, if you've never ridden it before, it's worth riding. You definitely want to ride it. But I personally wouldn't pay for a. I would not pay for a lightning pass for that ride.
No.
I just would never pay for that.
Disney, I have a bone to pick though. Why? One, why do we have to walk all the way to the entrance of the ride just to test the seat after we already get out of line and then wait in line again to test the seat because everybody's using it as a photo op?
Yeah. That is such a good call out. I forgot.
Yeah.
They are using the test seat as a photo. Most people, like, there's a huge line of people waiting to do the test seat that aren't doing the test seat.
Yeah.
They just want a photo opportunity. So I think that was a mistake. That's a mistake. They should have created.
I feel like they'll fix it.
I feel like maybe they'll add one. So that's something that they need to either fix. They need to say, if you're not testing the seat, you shouldn't really go get in this line to test the seat. Or build a second one that's specifically for photo opportunities. Because people want, I think you should be able to do a photo op. Like, I wanted to get a
Especially
photo.
since they made the seat so a lot of people don't fit on
A lot of people don't fit.
So you have to test
And it really doesn't have to do with your size. It's more how tall you are and how like thick your calves are.
Yeah.
It just depends. Like, I feel like longer legs and thick calves are not going to be able to fit versus shorter legs that maybe even have thicker calves might fit. So it's a weird. Hopefully I sort of broke down how to fit on the ride as best you can. Hopefully those are some tips that'll help you. But again, the back seat, they do have the back seat that you can hang out on if you don't fit. And I've heard, we haven't ridden that one yet, but I heard it's a lot of fun. I heard somebody say something about, I don't mind not being on the light cycle. It kind of feels like I'm Santa Claus in the back with all the tiny reindeer in front, which is kind of a cool analogy. I think that's fun. I almost kind of want to ride it in the back because I was uncomfortable in the light cycle. I almost just want to sit in the back and raise my hands and have a good old time and not be on that light cycle because it wasn't comfortable for me. So anyhow, I agree. They're going to have to do something with the photo opportunity thing because people do deserve to be able to do photos, but also people don't want a bunch of people standing in line watching them when they're doing a test seat. And you don't want to wait in line for 20 minutes just to try a test seat. So it's just
watching you if you don't fit or you do.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
And they need to fix that. And honestly, the whole line goes right by the test seat.
Yeah.
It's not like the test seat's over in like a nice, comfortable corner,
And they want
you know, where.
jump the line and go under
Yeah.
the ropes and the chains to get to it. They
Yeah.
want you to get out of line.
It's not designed well.
It's
It's not. They need to use that one that's there for like photo ops, and then build another one that's like in a more comfortable
obscure.
place for people to actually try out the seat. In my opinion, maybe one out front by like Space Mountain or something. Anyway. So there's our honest review. Take it or leave it. Let us know what you think about it in the comments. What did you think of Tron when you get to ride it? I'm very curious to see if we're in the minority here. I'm sorry, Disney, I love you. It's not that it's a bad ride. It's just it could have been so much better. So it's a bit of a letdown. But hopefully this helped you. And stay tuned for our next episode. Don't forget to tune in, like, comment, subscribe, share. Until we see you next time, the Noble Way.
the easy way.
Bye-bye, everybody.